Good evening. The SWPL 1 season has come to a close. All the action from the final weekend coming up. Newly crowned Rangers face Celtic in the 5th Old Firm derby of the season. Would Rangers go out on a high, or would Celtic bring their cup form to this one? Both Hibernian and Glasgow City enjoyed convincing wins midweek. Would we see goals again as they meet? Motherwell will be looking to close the gap on Aberdeen, who've lost their last 2 matches. Hamilton Accies will be out to end their season on a positive. They face Spartans. A win for Hearts and they'll end up above Partick Thistle in the table. Yes, all the final weekend's action to come, and all this week in the company of former Scotland defender Emma Black. Well, Rangers, of course, were crowned champions last weekend, but no doubt they'd be hoping to end the season on a high note, least of all because their final match of the season was against their Old Firm rivals, Celtic. Andy Barge has the commentary from this one.
Well, it was a fixture list to end the season that promised so much for title drama. But Rangers already champions of SWPL 1. And today their task is to make sure they can go unbeaten throughout the entire league campaign. Rangers up against their city rivals this afternoon. A team that haven't scored against Rangers in the league so far this season. Hayes forward early on to try and make it 1-0. And just getting her angles wrong. You can't afford to let Brogan Hay get in behind your defence like that. Sent in by Chance. Celtic looking to work the set play. Chloe Craig making a nuisance of herself, but Jenna Fife able to grasp onto the ball in a dangerous area. Wellings, oh, that's loose, and Ross shoots immediately. And when she's capable of finishes like that, it's the logical option all day long. Charlie Wellings setting it up with the inadvertent assist. But the precision finish from Ross was flawless. It's been Rangers' season in the league, no doubt about it, but Celtic did knock them out both cup competitions domestically. And they have the Scottish Cup final 2 weeks today against Glasgow City. And as Hay once again looks to dart in behind, she's been stopped in her tracks by Cheyenne Shorts. And Rangers have a free kick because of that stray forearm. It's Vance. It's 2. Rangers have absolutely flown out the traps here. Quarter of an hour gone. And it's hard to see a way back from Celtic against the team with the best defence in the league. Vance is strutting forward on the underlap. She collects it from Chelsea Cornet. Can Rangers make it 3? Johnston stands tall. Nobody tracking the run of Vance as she made her way into the Celtic penalty area. Lazy defending. Good goalkeeping. Picked up by Watson. Celtic sitting off their opponents. And that's the consequence. Jane Ross. And Rangers are absolutely coasting in this end of season derby. It's a procession for the title winners. Wonderful delivery. And Ross timed her run to perfection. There's Docherty looking for the free kick. It's not forthcoming. And Shen breaks clear. Maybe Celtic will get back into it on the stroke of half-time. Well saved by Fife. It's unlike Charlie Wellings not to finish the ball from that range. Oh, and there's one back. And a good time to score it. Right at the start of the second half, Celtic have a sniff of opportunity. Caitlin Hayes rising at the back post to bring the Hoops back into contention. Wellings opts to use Bowie. And then she wins the ball back, and she'll collect that from Shen. Surely this time, Fife once more. No way through for the league's top scorer. And Rangers certainly will go unbeaten for the season now, although that's looping. And well gathered by Jenna Fife. An extraordinary season for the champions, who haven't been beaten throughout.
Well, Emma, obviously job done last weekend for Rangers, but deserving winners in your mind of the championship this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, at the beginning of the campaign, they were under pressure to perform for the season, and they certainly matched that. They underachieved last season, of course they did, especially with the investment, the big signings they'd done. So they knew this season they had to get their hands on that league title, and to go through the full season unbeaten is tremendous. Yeah,
it was impressive stuff, wasn't it? In terms of influential players from a Rangers point of view, there's been many, but Jane Ross has been right up there, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's been a standout for me. You know, she's very influential, not just on the pitch, but also off it. You know, she's been a professional footballer from such a young age, playing at big clubs down in England, overseas, and then to come back to Scotland, a team that obviously she supports all her life, and to get her hands on that league title for Rangers is fantastic for her, and also for younger ones coming through. They look to her as a role model.
Yeah, she was influential at the weekend, wasn't she? There was another talking point from their weekend game. Shorts, should she have seen red?
Yeah, I can see why people could question it. Yeah, I think for me, it's the height difference. I think when obviously Shorts has just glanced over her shoulder, she's seen the Brogan Hay making that run upside her. She's putting her arms up to protect the ball, to stop her to run, and it's unfortunately for obviously Celtic, it's come off Brogan's face, which then resulted in Debbie Vance stepping up and scoring a fantastic free kick.
Yeah, it was a cracker, wasn't it? In terms of Celtic reflecting on their season as a whole, how will they reflect? They've done well in the Cups, obviously. They've got the Scottish Cup final to look forward to. But in terms of the league season, there's no European place this season. And, of course, they finish third, whereas last season they finished second.
I think there'll be mixed emotions in the change room. Of course, it's great for any team to get their hands on a trophy, get their hands on a winner's medal. However, I think it will have a negative impact in terms of potential signings for next season. You don't have that lure of Champions League football. There's maybe players that are actually wanting to leave and get out of their contract. So I think it's going to be difficult for Celtic in preparation for next season.
Yeah, that could be the issue, isn't it? Not just attracting players, but players that maybe want away because maybe the ambition isn't maybe there as maybe it was last season? Yeah,
I think so. I think for me, Celtic have still had a decent season. However, obviously Rangers have stepped up this season. Glasgow City have maintained it also. So it was always going to be difficult with the top three. For me, if you look at the Glasgow City team and you look at the Rangers team, their squad is better than Celtic's, in my opinion, and it obviously shown in the league when they finished third.
Well, Glasgow City bounced back from that disappointment last weekend when they lost the league title. With a midweek win, Hibs were also winners on Wednesday night. So would that bode well when they met this weekend? Andrew Petrie has the best of the action.
Hibs and Glasgow City met at Pennycook Park for their final game of the SWPL season. Hibs had the opening chance when Amy Gallagher went through on goal, but she had her effort saved by Erin Clackers. Ailey Adams was one of 3 changes to the Hibs side and was next to test the City keeper. But once again, Hibs were unable to break the deadlock. The visitors had the first chance of the second half when Abby Grant slipped the ball to Lauren Davidson, her shot going just wide of the post. Adams had another chance for Hibs on the hour mark. Once again, Clackers was fully behind it. Well, Hibs hadn't beaten City since 2007, and they had their best chance in the final stages when Kavanagh volleyed over, but it would finish 0-0.
Yeah, I thought we were excellent today. I thought a lot of aggression, a lot of energy to us, and yeah, we're a side that's getting better all the time. We're a side that's improving all the time, and when we've got everyone available and we've got options, we're even better again. So yeah, like I said, I can't fault this group of players. I love working with them. They're a great group, and yeah, we just need to move on to next season now.
Hibs, you know, were as dogged as they were in the first half and the second half. we didn't really create anything, we didn't find the spaces, and we were a little bit static. So, yeah, a draw is probably a fair result overall.
It's been an inconsistent season, but I think we've improved on last year, the season before, and yeah, there's loads to work on and to go into next season.
I only came in late, so it's all been a new experience for me. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a disappointing end for us, given that we've won the title in the past, but as I said before, it is a learning moment for the club, and we look to move forward and now full focus on an exciting cup final.
So it didn't actually bode well in the end because that one finished at 0-0. But in terms of Glasgow City, how will they reflect on what happened this season, and what will they need to do to improve and make things right for next season?
I think it was always going to come to an end eventually, wasn't it? Especially with the Old Firm investment this season and last season, they were always going to have that challenge, Glasgow City. And for them to still gain Champions League football for next season, that's huge for them. And I'm sure Eileen Gleeson, you know, she'll want to put her own mark on the team, especially looking to bring in her own players. I know she's made changes to training schedules, etc. so far this season, so she'll be looking to get a good pre-season under her belt next season in preparation for Champions League and a new campaign. Yeah,
is it almost unfair to judge what she's done so far because maybe she hasn't had a chance in terms of certainly bringing in her own personnel?
Yeah, I think it's been difficult for Glasgow City all season, to be honest with you, because they knew they wanted to bring in a new manager, but they knew that Eileen Gleeson had a contract with Republic of Ireland. They knew they had to wait on her, so it's difficult for players as well, having to change when they had Grant on board and then having to change then to Eileen Gleeson, and then Leanne Ross stepping up from player to assistant manager as well. So it has been an up and down season for Glasgow City, but they'll just be glad that they've got Champions League football, and of course they've got the Scottish Cup final to look forward to.
In terms of Hibs, obviously they finished in 4th spot, and that's really where they're targeting, isn't it?
I think so. I think they've got to be the best of the rest. I think it's extremely difficult now in the league, especially with the top 3, with the investment that they have, for anyone to try and take points off them. I think for Hibs, you've got to look at the positives. They managed to take a point from the Glasgow Celtic game when they come up against each other in the league. So they'll be looking at that. They'll be looking at, can they gain more players in semi-professional contracts? And it'll be difficult for them at times to try and attract players also.
And a new contract for the manager, Dean Gibson, that's important, is it, for that continuity, I guess?
Yeah, it's a bit of security for the players as well, isn't it? And also for Dean as well. He knows he's comfortable. He's obviously got that contract signed, so he can then start his preparations for next season.
Right, let's get to the remaining fixtures from the SWPL 1. And Aimee Canavan kicks things off with Motherwell against Aberdeen.
Motherwell have picked up a bit of form towards the end of the season with 2 wins in their last 3. Carla Boyce knitted a hat-trick when these two last met at Alliance Park. Kelly Forrest leads out Aberdeen for the final time after announcing her retirement in the midweek. No matter what happens today, her side will finish in the top half of the table. Nice footwork there by McClintock. Carla Boyce able to get her ball across. There is Gemma Hughes. Jess Broderick causing a little bit of hassle. Hughes again. Forces a decent save out of Elijah Meach, and there's another one. Pressure keeps coming from Motherwell. Ball is not cleared yet. Lauren Campbell only gets it as far as Jill Ingles. Allowed to dance through here. Ingles still on the ball, unleashes her shot, and it's underneath Elijah Meach. And Motherwell do have the lead. Simple run for Ingles. Mistake by Joe Addy. Francesca Ogilvie can latch onto that, and she nestles that into the side netting to get Aberdeen back level. Gift from Addy for Ogilvie. Ogilvie once again, twisting and turning, calls for a handball, no movement from the referee. McDonald and go. Decent parry away by Elijah Meach. Power from McDonald and go. Ogilvie, fantastic touch to take it away from the Motherwell defence, and from the acutest of angles, Francesca Ogilvie has single-handedly turned this game on its head. She netted in both previous encounters between these sides this season and now has a double this afternoon. Addy to drift one in. Meach punches only as far as Gemma Hughes. And Motherwell are back level arguably a little bit too easily from an Aberdeen persuasion. Falls kindly to Hughes, and our looping ball drops over the line. Aberdeen in search of a winner here. Ailey Shore, never troubling Ramsey. McDonald and Go, brushing off the Aberdeen defence. And with absolutely no backlift, Kayla McDonald and Go with a fabulous strike, which will surely seal the win for Motherwell. A ridiculous finish from distance, which must guarantee the 3 points.
I think, when I first came in, I knew the size of the job, the size of the remit, but I think this team, they've bought into everything, and I think it's testament to the players and also testament to the football club, the changes that have happened through the course of the season. So now it's how do we go and make them even better next season, and that's the challenge in the close season for us as staff.
Positives today, it was great to give some people that are going to be moving on a send-off with Carrie and Kelly Forrest playing their last games, which were great. Joe's going to move on, so it was great to get her some game time as well. So there was a lot of positives from that side. I think it was bigger than just the result today. It was more than that. So yeah, things to take from it as well. And we'll just move on now to next season.
At New Douglas Park, the home side had the chance to go in front early doors. Giard's ball in fell to Pagliarulo at the edge of the box. Yates producing a brilliant save to keep the score level. 20 minutes in and it was Marshall from the corner for the visitors, with Aki's unable to clear, with second time lucky for the captain. Great ball into the 6-yard box and Kat Smart was in hand to head home and open the scoring. 2 minutes later, Alana Marshall fired home from a well-worked free kick, off the woodwork and into the bottom corner, increasing Spartans' lead. A nice ball in from the edge of the box, and Hannah Coakley got her head on it. A deflection off the visitors' defence brought Gary Doctor's side back into the game. A chance to equalise, but Birchall's shot was inches wide of the post. Quieter second half, but the best chance fell to Smart and Gibb, both forced round into a great double save.
I think I was really impressed by our defence today. I thought Alana Marshall did great for the free kick and our delivery into the box for Kat's header. From the set pieces, I felt our midfield were really strong. So across the park, I could give everyone pass marks today.
We keep fighting, we don't give up, and I suppose that's a good starting point. The attitude of the group and the work ethic of the group gives us something we can build upon going forward.
It was a nightmare start for Thistle at the Odeum. Despite attempts to clear, Hart's corner was headed over the line by Holly Aitchison, who was clearly delighted. McBrearty took a great free kick for the visitors, with Browning lucky to nod against her own post. Thistle looked for a way back into the game. Fleming was picked out for the pass, but Charlotte Parker-Smith made a strong save to send her shot wide. Not long after the break, birthday girl Amy Anderson made a great run, staying on side, and when clear, sent the ball past DL and into the bottom corner to double their lead. Definitely enjoying that one. A well-worked corner to Maria McInerney, who made short work of it, firing home to add a third.
This year for me has been a little strange, just 10 teams, no? But next season we will be 12. It's better, more competitive, and I love that.
She's my squad. I'm really proud of them. 2 weeks to go, we get thrown into this league, asked to go in, and they've did themselves proud. Went to the Scottish Cup semi-final as well. They've been a joy to work with.
Well, Motherwell, Emma, leaving it late to get that win, but my goodness, what a winner.
Yeah, it was a fantastic strike from Kaylin. It's not something we've not seen before. I think she scored a few screamers this season in order to take the 3 points.
Aberdeen, just talk about them. Obviously, they were promoted last season. Have they done better than maybe they would have expected?
I think so. I think they've matured as the season's gone on. They certainly have. For me, sitting mid-table, all the travelling that they're certainly doing, they've overachieved in my opinion.
Spartans also getting the win at the weekend, and I think it's important to talk about Alana Marshall. She was influential today. She has been all season, making her 201st appearance at the weekend for Spartans, and she's just recently announced that she's been diagnosed with MS as well.
Yeah, I think she's a huge player for Spartans on and off the pitch. You know, she's been there obviously such a long time that she's managed to obviously gain those number of appearances. Not only is she obviously the captain of Spartans, obviously a recent diagnosis, she's also a mum as well, and she works full time. So I think she's got a lot on her plate and she seems to be coping extremely well with it. Her assist today for Kat Smart's goal, and then obviously her tremendous free kick. You know, for me, Spartans are a team that seem to be mid-table, and they've always kind of been at that stage. And it's fantastic, obviously, to see Alana still playing, of course, obviously, with a recent diagnosis, so it's great to see.
And Hearts and Partick Thistle, how will they reflect on their season?
For me, Hearts have actually finished the season strongly. You know, they had a glitch where they didn't get many results, were conceding a lot of goals, and that could be the impact of having a new manager brought on board, you know, a new training style. But they've still got a young squad, so they'll obviously be glad that there was obviously no relegation battle for this season, so they'll obviously be looking ahead now to next season.
Yeah, speaking of next season, of course, the league will be expanded to 12 teams. Glasgow girls and women were battling it out for that final promotion place with Boroughmuir. Stuart Mitchell watched the action.
It's a winner-takes-all match in SWPL 2. Glasgow girls and women against Boroughmuir Thistle. Glasgow girls and women line up with Lucy Ronald, the captain, starting. Keep an eye on Sophie McGoldrick, who has 12 SWPL 2 goals this season. And for Boroughmuir Thistle, captain Brogan Anderson starts. Samantha Duncan is a top scorer with 11 league goals. Gibson looking to start the attack for Boroughmuir Thistle. Same in for Beth McLeod. Tries to get it over and it's just behind. And Glasgow girls and women survive. McGoldrick unleashes it, and that one just bounces beyond the post. A scramble in the penalty area. McGoldrick clears, blocked, and there may be danger that remains for Glasgow. Keeper gets there, and then it's Eve Donald clearing away in the 6-yard area. A few players down, bodies on the line this afternoon. Duncan gives chase, tries to keep it in play. It's done superbly there. The move's still alive for McLean. Good building, and there's Anderson with the shot. Strongly saved. Cunningham restarts with the throw. She'll get it again. Aiming for Canavan. Taken down by Henderson, moving in, down she goes, the referee has a look, the penalty awarded. Boroughmuir protest. And what a glorious opportunity for Glasgow girls and women, but questions around the decision. Up steps Caitlin Canavan and sends the keeper the wrong way. The opening goal of this game, and you can see what it means in those celebrations. And with Glasgow girls and women only needing a draw, it's a great goal for them to get. Lucy Ronald with the free kick. Off the post, and it's in! It beats Moody in goal. It's her 5th league goal of the season, and it's 2 now. The goalkeeper up to celebrate. It may have been a delivery looking to assist, but with the assist from the post, it ends up in the back of the net. Ronald again, teasing off the crossbar, and Boroughmuir Thistle look to get it away. McAvoy, Novo Torrenti digging away, gets the shot off, and it beats Chloe Gibney, and there is life in the visitors yet. Maria Novo Torrenti won the ball back to the edge of the area, and the ball dips into the net, 2-1. Ronald for Siobhan Honeyman. Continues into the area. Across goal, there's Lyle! The 2-goal lead is restored. Could that be the goal that sends Glasgow girls and women up to SWPL 1? It was patient play from Honeyman. She found the head of Vary Lyle. The substitutes combine, and it's now 3-1. And there is the full-time whistle. Glasgow girls and women have clinched promotion. A 3-1 victory. They've done it and will be playing in SWPL 1 next season.
I think it took us 45 minutes, maybe both teams, to get that out of their system, and then you've seen the quality on show second half. I think it was a real grit and determination with us as well, and just really happy with the girls, and they got it over the line, because there's been a few weeks where people thought we weren't going to get it done, so absolutely delighted for everybody at the club to get it done.
Well, brilliant celebrations there as Glasgow girls and women were just celebrating promotion, and quite right too. Their manager, speaking afterwards, also said that he thought maybe it'd come a little bit quicker than they expected. Yeah, it's fantastic. Congratulations to them, but it's going to be a big task for them, and it's going to be a huge challenge for them to come up to SWPL 1. They're like Glasgow City, they're a standalone team, so it's going to be vitally important for them. Will they get investment on board? How will they challenge other teams? Yeah, Dundee United, of course, coming up as well, and they were convincing winners of SWPL 2, weren't they? Yeah, they were, and I think that was their goal at the beginning of the season. It was to win that league title, the SWPL 2, and gain promotion straight away. And for me, obviously, Dundee United, they are a huge club. Obviously, they're affiliated to the men, and it'll be interesting to see the progression from them also. Yeah, we can see that the new look to the top league. It will be expanding to the 12 clubs. There'll be a split after 2 rounds as well. The top and bottom 6 will then play each other twice. What do you make of the new structure? I think there had to be a change for me. I think the likes of, when you've got the top 3 competing for the top end of the table, and you want the games to be as competitive as possible, you know, and you don't obviously, there's going to be a relegation next season, of course there is, so it gives obviously teams at the bottom end of the table much more of a chance. Yeah, and I'm sure they'll both be valuable additions to the new season when it all gets underway again. Let's see how the SWPL 1 table looked after the final round of fixtures though, shall we? Rangers, of course, champions, winning by 7 points. 10 points separated second and third. No relegation this season, so Hamilton stay up. Hearts, the only mover on the final day, as they move up 1 place to 8th. And it's a big weekend of football across all our BBC Scotland platforms. Here's what's coming up. On Wednesday, Rangers face Eintracht Frankfurt in the final of the Europa League. Sportsound brings you all the build-up and commentary from 6 o'clock on digital, medium wave and online. Sports Scene then has highlights of the Premiership playoff as St Johnstone face Inverness. That's on BBC Scotland at 10:30. The following Friday night, watch how the league was won. BBC Scotland again at 10:30. And catch the latest Behind the Goals podcast on BBC Sounds and BBC Sports Scotland websites. Well, that's it for this season. My thanks to Emma Black for her insight on the weekend's final action. We hope you enjoyed our coverage this season. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.